We have 650 muscles or more in the body, and we have 187 joints, right? I think we have 215 bones in the body, if I remember right, from PT school. So we got a lot of moving parts. We got a lot of things that can help a lot of things, but they all have to work together in concert so we stay upright and active and we stay off the floor. We talked about what you can do, cardiovascular exercise. When you guys go for your, if you do go for your walks, you don't have to walk at a speed walking pace, but just walk. I mean, don't go too slow, but just a normal pace. Go for a mile or two, put some music in, go with a husband or wife, talk, chat. You'd be surprised how fast you go. Do that for a couple weeks and you'd be like, man, I'm starting to feel better. Hey, the clothes are fitting better. When you do that, when you get into something on an exercise line of training, whether it's something very simple or hitting the gym or going to CrossFit or whatever you're going to do, then you work out for a couple days and you think, okay, I'm not going to have that cheeseburger and french fries, but it looks really good. I'm going to do some boiled chicken and asparagus and something, because you don't want to undo what you just did for yourself. So now that snowball rolls up the hill. It rolls in the right direction. Because you start working out, then you start making better choices of what you're going to put in your body to help yourself stay healthy. Anyone here do yoga? Anyone done yoga? That's close. So for the last 6 years, I've had a horrible shoulder issue. 3 years ago, I had a pretty major shoulder surgery, and then it froze up. I had a frozen shoulder, and then that had to be all manipulated and moved around. And so I've been through the therapy side. So I've seen it from the table side. I don't like it, and I've seen it from the hammering side. I like that part better. But the ladies, if you guys have been to my clinic, Julie and Beth keep saying, you should do yoga. I'm like, yoga, schmoga. I'm not going to yoga. I'm not going to do that, right? But then I started. Some of the guys I played golf with in my church golf league I used to play in, they're older. And I'm like, Mike, how do you hit the ball so well? He goes, I do yoga every day. I'm like, come on. He goes, dude, there's a yoga stretching for golf. Anyway. So about 2 years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to try it. So I went online and I found beginner yoga video. It was 30 minutes, kicked my butt. It was unbelievable. And I'm yelling at the lady. I'm like, how do you get there? How do you do what she's doing? But I tell you, after I did it for 2 weeks, I'm like, I feel like Gumpy. It was amazing how much better I felt. And you can work as hard as you want, or you can work as easy as you want. Like one of the things, you're doing like a stretch to the side. You can go as aggressive as you want so you feel an aggressive stretch, or you can go down just so you feel a 2 out of 10 stretch, and that's it. That's all you got to do. It's all about breathing and moving, which is what we talked about earlier. The more you move, the more you breathe. So eat your beans at every meal. Walk as far as you can walk, right? Walk when you can walk. That's probably the best exercise you can do. Just keep moving. And do some stretching. Yoga's great. You don't have to go to a class, although we have some great classes in the town. You can go online and just do a beginner yoga for seniors. Be simple. It could be done in a chair. But flexibility is a big part of it.
I have a Fitbit that counts your steps.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I live next door to her. Our property joins at the back. And we take walking sticks and
Nice.
and walk over there and back, and that's about 10,000 steps.
10,000 is the magic number. If you're getting 10,000 steps a day, you're doing pretty well.
Up hills, steep hills.
Both ways, up hills, against the wind, in the snow. We've all heard those stories, yeah. Okay. Stretch regularly, 10 to 15 minutes before and after exercise. It's actually, I'll tell you, it's more important to stretch after you exercise than it is before. Because when you exercise, the muscles get really tight, and if you leave them there, they're going to stay tight. That is kind of hard to move. So do a little stretching after you exercise, unlock everything you just did, and you'll be fine. If you're going to stretch before you exercise, I would recommend warming up first, whether it's a 10-minute walk or a 5-minute bike ride on a stationary or regular bike. You know your body's warm enough to stretch when you start to sweat. When your body first begins to sweat, you know your internal temperature is right. Now, get off your bike or stop walking, sit on a chair, or sit on a bench and do some stretching. That's the best time to stretch before. Because after you exercise, your body's warm enough for sure. That's a great time to stretch. Next page is just why stretching is important. It's all the stuff you've heard a million times. This page is good. If you look at the routine maintenance of muscles and joints page, it's basically, this is your accountability page. This is, are you going to do this stuff, right? Because I can preach it, you can see it on TV, your doctor will tell you all the stuff people will tell you, but until you do it, something has to trigger you to say, this is what I got to do. I'm going to change my lifestyle. I'm going to get out of my pattern behavior I'm in. I'm going to create a new behavior pattern that I'm going to stick with it. And it's hard. It's easy the first couple days because how many of the gyms get packed in January and February, right? New Year's resolution, I'm going to go to the gym, and they're all packed. Believe me, by the end of February, early March, no one's in there. But they worked hard for 2 months. But staying with it is the key. So what can physical therapy do? We're a proactive approach. We're the ones that, if you need some guidance or knowledge of what you have to do, come and see us for a week or two. Get a prescription from your doctor that just says gait, strengthening, balance, low back pain. We can do anything with a low back pain thing. And then we check everything out from the shoulders, the ribs, the hips, and the legs. And we see where you move well and where you don't move well. And then we give you some things to do at home. We make sure you're doing them correctly in the clinic. And then we say, okay, you're on your own. Here's your homework. It's on you. Get it done. So that's where the rubber meets the road with any kind of rehab, whether someone comes in for a minor ankle sprain or a major neck surgery or anything in between. It's not the 2 or 3 days they come in to see us in therapy. It's what are you doing at home? Are you continuing to do this at home? Are you changing your lifestyle to help yourself get better? Because coming in 2 or 3 days a week just doesn't do it. You've got to do the stuff every day, at least a little bit. So, okay. More things on physical therapy. So, there's a lot of studies that have come out lately that show that doing physical therapy first before you have a procedure done or before you hurt yourself is much better for you, and it saves the insurance companies a bunch of money, but they got enough money. So being proactive, like we just talked about, coming to this class, learning about what you can do to prevent balance and falls. If you haven't been to the Aging with Ease or arthritis class, come to those too. We'll explain more about what those are all about. And some of the exercises are kind of carryovers, but we're going to show you some exercises today. Everyone has a red band in their bag to use as a resistance band for homework. And then there's exercises coming up here on the last few pages, okay? So work on muscle strength, range of motion, big words, kinesthetic awareness. Whoo, big word, kinesthetic awareness. That's kind of like Tom doing that 90-degree arm raise, knowing where your body is in space before it gets out of position and you fall down. 5 skills to improve balance. Walk and turn your head simultaneously. Extend your back and hips. Reach down and pick something up. Look and reach up. Stand on one foot. They're basically tests that you would get if an officer pulled you over and he thought you were drinking. Tilt your head back. Count backward. Stand on one leg. Whoops. Do all that kind of stuff. So these are just simple tests you can do to see how well your balance is. And sometimes when people come in to therapy, if they have gait and balance issues or severe low back pain, there's a few tests that the insurance companies make us do. It's a timed up and go test. It's called a tug test. It's a 9-foot walking back and forth, and it's timed to see how they do. See if we can make them better. So there's functional tests are there. There's more stuff we do in the clinic. SFMA is not so big. So one of the tests, if we get into do you have a sheet where it has a guy reaching out in front of him as an exercise? Yeah, there it is. The functional reach test. That's just something we'll do sometimes in the clinic. We'll have somebody stand on a wall here, and we'll have tape marks on the wall, and we'll see, keeping your feet flat, how far can you reach out before you start to feel like you're going to lose your balance. And we'll do both sides, because it might make a difference if it's right arm or left arm. And with that, then we know that what muscles we have to work. Primarily, it's the butt muscles here. The glute muscles control us doing this. We have to get the butt stronger so that they can reach out further without losing their balance. Just a test that we do in the clinic sometimes. The 8-foot up and go test. Some insurances are 8, some are 9. It's a 9-foot test where we set a chair down and we set a timer and we say go. And they got to get up and they got to walk down here 8 feet. Maybe pick up a cone or get to that spot, turn back and go back as fast as they can, and sit. And we see what's the quality of their walk. Are they off balance, or do they walk smoothly? What was their time? A week later we test it again and hope to cut off a couple seconds as they go. And it's good because they get a challenge, and most people have a little bit of competitiveness in them, and they'll say, what was my time last time? 12 seconds. Okay, I'm going to get 10 this time. All right, I'm hoping for 9. Let's go. Let's make it happen. So keep in mind the risk factors, extrinsic and intrinsic, we talked about. decide to make a change in your lives, make sure you double check all your medications, make sure you check all the things on the floor around your house, and keep a safe environment. So one of the things we're going to go through this, a couple positions and a couple exercises. I'll have all you guys try some of these exercises with the bands maybe. But basically we talk about posture, right? So standing there, you know, correct posture is basically shoulders back, right above the hips, and the head back here. But we have a lot of people nowadays, they come in like this. And why do people come in like this? What kind of job do they do if they come in like this? Computer work. Everyone's sitting on a computer like this. There's actually a new diagnosis code identified by the insurance companies called text neck. Kids, they're like this all the time. Next you know, like, oh, my neck hurts. Well, yeah, you haven't been up here in 4 years because you're always on your damn phone, right? And it's an actual diagnosis code. We can bill physical therapy service for text neck. Are you kidding? Stand up tall and use your pie hole. Talk to somebody, man, instead of texting. I have kids. I've argued with them with that. But here's the deal. I learned something big. Some of you who have been with me in therapy before know that sometimes if this shoulder is really tight, I'm going to work this shoulder. I'm going to work the opposite side. Or if this shoulder is really tight, I might work the right hip or the rib cage to try to get the body back in balance. And this whole process that I've been doing for 14 years, total motion release that I use, teaches that if you want to stand like this with good posture, great. If you want to stand like this, great. Does that feel good? Feels good to me. All right, stay there. Is this good posture? Not via textbooks, right? Textbook, oh, say this is it. But what if, no, Dan, this hurts. That doesn't hurt. I want your body to be where it doesn't hurt. I've had conversations with moms who bring in their kids to therapy, and the kid's sitting there on the table like this. See, that's why his back hurts. He's sitting like this. I'm like, hey, Johnny, does that hurt? No, Mr. Gar, that feels great. Sit up tall. That hurts my back. Johnny, sit how you want. That's better. Mrs. Johnson, let him sit like that. But that's not proper posture. I said, what is proper posture? Something that hurts? Now he's hurt. Now his nervous system is upregulated, going, oh, pain, pain, pain. Or here's like, that feels good. Because how long will he sit like that? Maybe 3 minutes. Then he's going to be up like this. Then he's going to be back here, right? If I could put a video camera in a 10th grade classroom at the high school and watch the kids sit in the desks, we would see that. They'd sit like that for a couple minutes, and then they shift to the other butt, put the other leg straight. Then they'd be down here like this, and they'd be up here like this. The body's always moving to the path of least resistance. So in my world, and I wouldn't pass physical therapy school if I said it during therapy school, let your body go where it wants to go. Like Virginia, you're comfortable there. Put your right leg over your left. Could you do that?
I don't know, let's see.
Generally, one of those two is going to be more comfortable. And most women will choose the more comfortable side to cross a leg. Perfect. Do it. So I'm not real big on textbook perfect posture. I say let the body go where it wants to go. Good shoes are important. Have good supportive shoes, especially shoes that may have a little bit of an arch support in them, because probably 8 out of 10 people walk with feet that are too flat. So we got to keep those feet neutral so that you have a better first contact on the floor. Transferring is a big thing. We talked about those. And remember, falls are not a normal part of aging. Then a little advertisement. Let our team help you. So if some of you have been to us before, and I appreciate that. But if you need anything else, we do free consultations, right? If you want to have a therapist look at you for 15 or 20 minutes and just give you a free look-see and see what's going on, we're happy to do that for you. You just have to call and schedule it. So, okay. So now let's look at a couple exercises. So if you guys would like to try these, we can try these. You can sit up, you could stand up and use the back of the chair for balance if you'd like. The first one is basically a heel raise and a toe raise. So you hold on to a chair, you go up on your toes, then you go up on your heels. Keep the knees straight. Go up on your toes, go up on your heels, but hold on to something for balance. Keep your knees real straight and see what you do. Yeah. Now go up on the toes. There you go. Yeah. Because a lot of people do heel raises to get the calf muscles strong. But nobody does toe raises, and the toe raises are important because not too many people have enough motion in their ankle to get this kind of a degree of bend in their ankle, and I'm really forcing it. Nobody gets to this position. Everyone kind of stops short. This is an extremely important position for the whole chain up to the neck, is getting the foot to move the toes up really well. So toes up and then heels up. There you go. 600 or 700 of those should be good a day. I'm just making sure you're listening. Thank you. Okay, good. Thought I lost you 5 minutes ago. Okay. So another one, the next one on the board, you can do this on the chair here too, is hanging onto the chair, and it's basically just a weight shift. So it's kind of almost like a skiing thing. So you're going to put your feet a little wider. You're going to lean to one side, bend down a little bit, and lean the other side, bend down a little bit. And again, back and forth, 10 to 20 times. And the goal is, after doing this for a few days, do it without using a chair. Do it without using anything extra for balance if you can. Or when you feel like you're ready to go without holding the chair, just use one arm only. One arm only. I hope there's a good story behind that. But so then one hand only, then no hands on that. Okay? So the weight shifts are good. Postural angels, these are good to get the shoulder blades back. Again, too many people have rounded shoulders, forward head. So sitting or standing, if we can take the arms and just bring them all the way up, a big yoga pose like you're reaching up toward the sky and then back down. Good stretch that way. Go ahead, do it again. Let me see. That's pretty good, you guys. That's really good. Nice. Good stuff. And so there, at the top, you want to reach as high as you can to really get the rib cage elongated. Rib cage is super important for mobility. Good. The standing reach thing, this is one that I took out of the one that I was going to show you, so that shouldn't even be in your sheets. So this is a good one. It's called a wall squat.
That's a killer.
Shh, don't tell them. Gosh. Virginia, you're excused for scaring the people. So, no, you're not. So the wall squat, you can use the band. So what I'll tell you to do is, if you can, and you don't have to do it here, you can try it at home. We put the band around the knees. Then you lean into a wall, keep your back straight, keep tension on the band. So you're going to keep your knees out. And the reason we pull the knees out, just by moving the knees out, it engages the glute muscle. The butt muscle has to work. Keep your back against the wall, squat down to about 90 degrees here and see how long you can hang there. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 hours, whatever you can do. Make sure you have one of two things. Either a bench underneath you, because if you can't get up, you'll have something to sit on, or when you start to feel the least amount of fatigue, go ahead and stand back up. Let the blood get back in there and repeat it again 2 or 3 times. The band is really important for this one. Around the knees, pull the knees out, okay? That's a good one. And if you have knee pain with that, stop just short of 90 degrees. The next one is hip flexion and extension. Again, hanging onto the back of the chair. Give yourself some room, because you're going to kick one knee up as high as you can. Whoops. And then step it all the way back or reach it all the way back. So all the way up. I should do my other leg. And all the way back. Bringing the hip up is called hip flexion. Kicking the hip back is hip extension. What you're going to find, if you do 10 or 20 of these, you're going to find the leg that's moving isn't nearly as sore as the leg that's doing nothing. The leg you're standing on is actually working harder.
I agree.
Okay? That's kind of a trick one. You think you're working the leg that's moving, but you're really not. You're working the other side. And again, the goal there would be go down to one hand only on the chair and then release with no hands. And just work it with no hands, up and all the way back. Work on balance here. Oop, all the way up, all the way back. Okay? Sit to stands are a great one. Everyone have a seat on the chair. And do this, you guys, just so you can feel the band, because the next one will involve the band as well. There's a red band in all your bags. Take the red band out and put it around your knees, please.
I don't have a red band.
You don't have one in there? Oh, you know what? I didn't put those in there.
Those girls are in trouble.
There. No. It's. I'll get you one. I had 6 bags made because we only had 6 signed up, and then I guess this morning 4 more people signed up, and so before I left, I put everything in the bag except the bands. I'm sorry, but I'll get more and I'll bring them here, or they'll be at the clinic. So scoot to the front edge of the chair. Now, all you're going to do is you're gonna Go from a sitting position to a standing position, but move your knees apart. Put some tension on that band. Hold the knees apart, and then stand up. Keep your weight on your heels, not your toes. All the way up. Now keep the band apart and sit down slowly. Slowly enough to where if you sit down on an egg, you don't break the egg.
I can't stand up without helping.
You can do that you can do that now, or have something in front of you, or a grab bar or something to help you at first, or have a higher seat.
Severe arthritis.
Okay.
I couldn't do it either.
Yeah, use the table. So you would either have to use a table or something with your hands, or a higher seat.
Okay.
Find something that's slightly challengeable but doable, or challenging but doable. And I apologize for those other bands. I forgot to put those bands in there.
I can have mine. I've got bands on.
Oh, do you? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Cinderella.
Who needs one? Tommy, you got one? There you go. Okay, cool. We'll get you one tomorrow. She was in the clinic today, so it was fun. Now, the seated rollouts is another one with the band. You're sitting at the front edge of the chair, the band around the knees. Move your knees apart as far as you can go, then come back in halfway. Stop halfway. So there's still tension on the band. Then move it back out, move it back in, move it back out, move it back in. Again, 200 or 300 of those should do. So a lot of times we'll tell people do 3 sets of 10 or 2 sets of 15 or 3 sets of 5, whatever it is. I tell my patients, once you know how to do these exercises correctly, I want you to do as many as you can until you're fatigued. It might be 5, it might be 55, it might be 605. Whatever it is, do as many as you can and you can say, oh my gosh, I need a break. Perfect. That way you've broken down the muscle enough to where it needs a break, it's got to refill with blood, and then work it again, fatigue it again. And then the muscle's going to say, okay, smart guy, watch this. The muscle will then build itself stronger so you can do it better next time. That's kind of how the body regenerates itself. So that's a good one as well. Oops. So single limb balancing, you guys, you don't have to do this if you don't want, but again, standing, holding on to something for balance, bring one leg off the ground and just see if you can balance, but keep something by your hands and see how long you can balance without touching. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you can balance without touching and hold it. Woo! Yep, keep something close to your hands. So to make this functional, I tell a lot of my patients, when you wake up in the morning and you go into the bathroom and you're going to brush your teeth, balance on one leg and brush your teeth. If you're going to put your makeup on, balance on the other leg, put your makeup on. Good luck, because if you lose your balance, it could be all over the place. Right? Or if you're in the kitchen for lunch, you're going to make a sandwich or something, balance on one leg as you try to prepare your lunch. Balance on the other leg as you try to do something else. Make it functional. If you're in your garage getting something off a shelf, just say, okay, can I balance on one leg and get it? Can I balance on the other leg and put it away? That's okay. You'll get better to where you don't have to hang on so tightly. Yeah, the walking's not that big of a deal. So those exercises are really good ones for you to kind of just to reinitiate learning how to control the glutes and the core. With each of these exercises, if you can remember, I didn't write it in these sheets, but if you can put a little squeeze on the stomach muscles as well, if you can hold your gut and your butt tight as you do these exercises, now you'll have a better stable base. So on a better stable base, you have a less chance of falling. I always tell my patients the way we human beings move is we have to have good mobility on good stability. If we don't have a stable base on which we're moving, we're in big trouble. So we teach all of our patients, whether they come in for a minor ankle sprain or a major neck surgery or anything in between, we teach them a 6-point bracing system. It's a way of contracting 6 muscle groups from the pelvic floor up to the chin so that with every exercise they're doing, they hold themselves tight. This is really tight while they're doing rows or reaches or lifts or leg exercises. We reserve the right to walk by and punch somebody in the stomach just to be sure that they're tight. They don't like it, but that's okay. It's mean, but it's therapy. It's good. So that's kind of what we do. All right? Any questions? Anything I can help with? Anything that came up there? I mean, this is, people think of balance, they think, okay, I'm walking on a tightrope trying to balance, but there's a lot more things that play into it. Our senses, what's on the floor, yeah.
I've worked out at Health Club.
Yeah?
Several times.
Okay.
But in fact, we used to work out at Anytime Fitness, which they closed.
Right.
Can you, is it necessary to go to a gym to work out?
No.
No.
No, like what you guys are doing on your walks are great. Do these exercises at home. I would highly recommend you guys, if you can, just investigate online. Beginner yoga for seniors, and a lot of them will be in chairs. It's the
We have a lot of silver sneaker, excellent silver sneaker exercises online.
yeah, and they do that here. They do silver sneakers here at the senior center. I don't know what days and times, but it's in the books.
Chair aerobics into,
Yeah.
Or yoga, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do silver sneakers at your place?
No, we used to. Now Colette does them here. Here, I think it's Colette. She still does them here. It was just more of a. It was easier in and out, and people weren't walking through the therapy area, and it's a bigger area, so they can do them here.
Where can you work out on machines?
right there.
Yeah, we have that availability at our clinic. That Anytime Fitness switched over to Building Your Temple CrossFit, so it's more intense now. Yeah, if you'd like, you can always come in and
That's at your place?
yeah, and take a look around. You can come in and actually just work out for a day for free if you want, and see how you like it, and then decide if you want to.
Covered through silver sneakers?
The silver sneakers and Medicare will cover some gym memberships, and the ladies up front there would be able to check that out. I don't know off the top of my head.
I guess I missed, I thought it was starting at 1.
Oh, no, it went 12 to 1 today.
12?
Yeah. We're doing this again in July. We'll do another class like this in July.
Okay.
Yeah. So check the books. And,
What about, are you going to talk about arthritis in one of your classes?
yeah, one of the classes is osteoarthritis and what it's all about, what it is, how to fix it, how to help it. And that might be I don't know if it's the next one or not, but I don't know the schedule, but. Whoa. So. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the heat. All right, if you have any questions, if you guys need, my information is on the sheets, but if you want a card, I got my cards up here too, so. Very good.
So you think the osteoarthritis is next week?
Next month, I don't know which class is next month.
They put it in the paper wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, the newspaper was incorrect. Check the Parks and Rec website or their mailer that they send out, and that class. Or you could always call here and ask Dawn which one we're doing. She always texts me or calls me and says, because I need to have at least 4 people to do the class. As of, early in the week, she said, we only have 3. I said, okay, well, let me know, because we need 4. And then she said, okay, we have 4. Then we have, oh my gosh, we have 6 more. I'm like, okay, here we go. Yeah, a few of you did. So I'm glad you came. This is great. It's a big class. So,
I didn't read the paper till last night, so I had to call this morning.
oh yeah, good. I'm glad you read the paper. That's good. Yeah. Cool. Thanks again for your time.